Hello YouTube, it's Team Endgame here, bringing you a UK Regional Qualifiers report. And as you can see here, Iori got second place. Come on! Yeah.
He's better than both of us, guys.
Yeah, well,
he's officially better than both of us, despite the fact he's never on the channel.
I am the secret weapon.
we played him at the right time. It's all about the end game. So yeah, we'll try and do it in the same format as the previous report we did. But just as a brief mention, you can see here, that's the second place that he managed to get, and the three cards alongside the left represent what we were focusing on in our builds. We'll go through how it was organised and things, and then we'll go through how the rounds went, and you'll see how as and when we dropped off.
We'll do that later. But first, the turnout. Obviously, I'm assuming this was a lot of people, more than France. I think it was like 400, was it?
I think it was getting on 400 is the number.
It was 4 to 5.
I think they were aiming for 600.
No, I think the 600 was the limit. We're expecting 600, but I remember being told the number and it was 300 and something, I think.
Okay, so heading on 400. So quite a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of people. But fair play, very well organised.
It was. They actually got a proper event hall for it. It's shared with Play Expo up in Manchester.
Yeah, it was rather cold.
We got free entry up there, which is kind of nice. Got to walk around there. Well, I did anyway.
Well, like, the good thing was you had to show your deck, so you didn't just wander in and say, "Yeah, I'm for the
you can
card thingy," and then just go, "Oh, anything." Yeah, granted, you could have just bought a trial deck, £10 entry for Play Expo, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
It's still you had to show a deck, so they even were strict on that organisation. They split you up because they knew, like all other years, you'd be with your friends. So when you came in, right, pod A, pod B, pod C, pod D, pod A, pod B. So you shouldn't be with your friends
unless you're in a group of 5. All right.
Yeah, but even then, they were ushering you to. Oh, I know A, B,
three
and
out
D.
of the 4. We're actually doing it right.
Yeah, we're saying you go in and you sit down. So you don't sit opposite. You sit in the empty seat. So you just go sit down.
So you have to go and sit down as at the end chair and just
in a line
and just fill them up.
Except for C, where they were like, just go sit down somewhere.
Which
they were like
actually messed it up a bit because round 1, the way they did that was fight whoever's in front of you.
Well, it's the easiest way to do round 1 though. That's what I liked about it.
It was.
We've already set out all.
So you don't need to stand up, sit down again.
Yeah, you don't need to collect everything. You've already done it all. We've just set a piece of paper. You fill it in. You're playing the person opposite you. And because the way in their heads they organised it, you won't be playing your friends.
Exactly.
Problem was,
one of the pods messed up.
Yeah, pod C, 4 people we know played each other.
Yeah.
And because they basically were like, "Oh, I'll just sit opposite you so we can have a chat, not next to you so we can have a chat." I thought, But
that's just a minor thing. It was just 1 out of 4 groups.
And then because you're in the pods, you get further, and then when there's less people, they combine all the groups.
It was after 4 rounds, then they were like,
it's all done on paper as far as I'm aware. There's no computer involved.
Yeah, it was all paper.
So
it's a lot quicker, but I still would prefer it if they actually sorted out their official tournament system.
Yeah.
Well, I know top 16. There was someone sat down next to me and said, "I've already played this guy."
Yeah.
And that was. I'll get to that later because I was quite looking forward to playing the guy opposite me because I knew what the deck was. I was like, I don't want to play anything else. I'm quite happy with that deck. Because you had to write your clan on the paper as well to sort of semi-knew what you were up against.
I really don't like that.
It's only so they can get numbers at what clans were run instead of going around guesstimating. You write down what clan it is. Oh, so they were.
So they can get proper percentages when they do that pie chart.
I didn't wonder how they did it. This is like a guess.
Well, the other times it was apparently some guy went round and just counted all the clans. But this way they just go, right, this clan, this clan, this clan, this clan, note it down.
No, fair enough. So yeah.
So getting past all the minor details, very well organised this time. Very impressed with them.
We were finished by 5.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Our finals were done by 5, whereas last year was what? Gone 8, 9 o'clock.
Well, they also had to change venue.
Yeah.
This was just so smoothly organised. It was, again, as well, nice and spacious. I don't know how they didn't get much room in last year because that was a big room, but because they're all like cramped tables next to each other.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it was just nice and spacious. I don't know. It just seemed.
It's too spacious, too cold. I went in there with a shirt up.
No, I was cold at the start as well, but I warmed up in the end once I got I don't know.
Just very. It was just great organisation this time. I'll give them credit to that.
Mm-hmm. So moving on from that.
Just run down the rounds.
No, it'll be what did you expect to see, and what actually did we see?
I expected to see the same as what I saw in France. So just not much Glendios, a lot of like golds, Kagero, and just any generically kind of right break stuff.
See, this is where we differ, because I expect to see quite a lot of Glendios.
I expect to see a lot of Glendios.
The reason being because I feel that we've had a significant amount of time more than other places since BT15 came out. So people had more time to collect Glendios and actually play, test it, and work out how the deck is run.
I still like to point out I didn't fight Glendios. So I didn't see a Glendios.
Well, I expected to fight... I expect to see a lot of gold, because, again, if you expect to see Glendios, the only actual counter really is gold. Rebirth, because it's the hype train. Everyone was like, oh my god, it's amazing!
And it's easy. It's a more consistent novel at the end of the day.
Pale Moon, just again, it topped somewhere else, but also because it does have explosive power.
And that's also anti-link joke in a way, because you just explode into the empty space, and then you can actually...
Like, if you pretend France didn't happen, there'll be a few people using it because they know about the explosive power, they know how it works, it's a really good deck.
No,
but since France, I think a lot of people went, oh, I'm going to try that deck, oh my god, this is actually really good, and they all just jumped on the bandwagon. When I sat down, like round 1, I saw about 5 Pale Moons around me, including mine. Sorry, not including mine. It was quite insane how many there were.
I saw one. I saw one round 2, and I know because one was in the top 8. Was the only other time I saw one.
Yeah.
Any other time I was just like Kagero or Glendios. Kagero. I've played fair eclectic, but I didn't expect to see. I expected a few mega colonies, but I didn't see any. Like just because maybe they could troll people and just annoy them. I didn't expect to see at all many Aquaforce, because again, if Link Joker's up there, Aquaforce should just have no chance. Not being able to get any of their combos off.
Mm.
But other than that, just a lot of Kagero, a lot of gold, a lot of Glendios. Yeah. Well, the main 3, and then setting that power. Yeah. Didn't see any Bermudas. I know one person who was running them, but I didn't see any around me.
Yeah. Well, I can't really comment much on what I saw, because I scrubbed 0-2.
No.
Hence I'm at the bottom.
He's at the bottom.
May as well jump into rounds and then what we saw, because we can do that as we go along.
Okay, so starting with you.
I went against Nova, extreme cross ride, to game 1. I rode my brake ride, because I decided to run the brake ride, which I now feel that I shouldn't have done. I should have done something else. But I was sitting on that, couldn't find a grade 3 to brake ride, kept soul charging my triggers, so I never actually triggered against my opponent, and every time I did damage to my opponent, they triggered and damaged, so that was annoying. And then, I'm just going to do game 2 now. Glendios, I got shut down, and I'm sitting on brake ride again. GG. Okay guys, what did you see?
Okay, so me and you will just alternate, I guess, but I'll obviously drop out a bit further in, but not as far as you. So game 1, I went whilst I was running Holy Shine, just by the middle there.
Now, why were you running Holy Shine, Mike?
Because it's broke.
Why is it broke?
Because you just keep...
I don't see it anywhere.
I don't use the Liberator Blaster Blade engine or anything like that. It's just the focus on threat with the grade 2, I don't forget what it's called, the Counter Plus 1, and he gets 5k. And ensuring the ride break with the grade 1, which nobody uses because they think they have room for it, but just make room for it. And you just get, every time you ride break, or break ride, I keep saying the wrong way around, you get 555, so that's 15, plus 10k on the Vanguard, that's 25k guard extra they have to guard every time, and no deck can keep up with that. On top of the fact that gold have 8 perfect guards, or the equivalent of. They have a ridiculous grade 1, which counter blasts 1 and adds 5k per gold paladin rear guard, as long as you have a Liberator Vanguard, which is a 30k guard, which is basically a perfect guard. It's insane. I've read the format. I like Overlord, Minerva. I just felt completely in control. Like, I can't lose. I've always had 2 of the 8 in my hand, ready to respond. But regardless, my only worry was Zell. It was a Glendios and things, so I teched 1 Zell. So that was just my little out. But it was actually my downfall later on, but we'll see. So anyway, game 1, Shadows. I didn't actually have a grade 2 in my starting hand. I was really worried, but then I managed to either top table drive check my grade 2, I forget. So I was like, thank God for that. I would have lost otherwise. He took 2 turns to find his grade 3, so I was like, oh, so that's just kind of put me at a massive advantage. But he did, when the two attacks I'd leapt through, he crit me. So his first grade 3 checks and his grade 1 or 2 swing. So I got put to 5. But because he has to use a lot of his hand to guard, and I went for his rear guard, like with the little niggles and things, he was guarding to save him. He had no cards in hand, and I didn't see a perfect guard, so I went, fine, I ride breakers, scissors, and I swung like 41k at a crit, and he was just no guard. Put it from 4 to 6, just end it there rather than risking anything more. But yeah, that was my one. So you just have a quick overview of what your deck was about and how your grade 1 went, and then we'll just go through the games.
Mine's a Glandius deck with 2 break rides because you have to get the triangle lock so as soon as you can to proper shut down your opponent. Game 1 I was against Blast Bolt Kagero, which was a weird thing to go against. Because I didn't expect it, but I basically just went, okay, I go break ride, he swings at me, I'm on 4, I break ride Glandios, triangle lock his field, because he dropped his field to try and rush me. And from that point onwards I was just like, 15, nope, 10, 20, nope, 20, nope. And I just, beat him down. He just couldn't do anything against all my columns.
Glandios beat down.
Fair enough. Game 2 was quick for me, the guy's grade locked on 0. I was like, well, these are 2 grade locky games, and I feel slightly bad, but then he swung with his grade 0, like, solid swing. He crit me. I was like, oh no, we're not having this going to 4 and me overguarding for the rest of the game. So I just dropped my hand and he just stuck on 0. So I was like, well, that's just free game, really, unfortunately. You right?
On it, it's a Pale Moon player, and there was a theme throughout my day where I was grade locked, but because of the starter World Line Dragon skill, I got out of the grade lock with the whole ditch reverse, get something, which was lovely. But I went up against Pale Moon, and it was going alright. I was just like, alright, Vanguard column swing, Vanguard column swing. I was at 2, and he was at 3. And I was on break ride, and he was on break ride. He went Vanguard. I was like, no guard, because why would you? I'm on 2, I don't care. Crit. I go to 5, and he mockingly says, there's your 5 damage. Knowing full well, if I break ride Glenn, he's like, oh, I could Omega lock him. I was like, A, that wasn't needed. And I was like, okay, sure. Then in my head, I'm like, how the hell am I going to win this? His soul was so huge. I was like, I know, and I saw him drive check, like a turn on this grade 2 drive check was Venus, so I know he's going to explode. So I was like, what do I do? Right. Break ride, have to get power. Drop revert, and just drop like 2 grade 3s. I didn't have like anything to lock. No, I had one thing to lock, so I was like break ride lock. So I sort of I half triangle locked him, like 1 column in his booster. And I was just like, rear guard attacks, 11 on 11. He takes it, goes to 4 damage.
415, Iori.
I don't know. All I know is he takes it, gets a trigger, goes to 4 damage, and it's a draw trigger. Draws a card. His hand's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Vanguard attacks. He drops 2 to pass. I'm just thinking, in what universe are you dropping? I'm on 5. You've just got ride break, and I know you can kill me. You dropped it. Sure, you dropped 2 to pass. First check, crit. All Vanguard. Second check, heal. All Vanguard, heal 1. He just goes, damage, dies. And his response was, I had a perfect guard, but I didn't expect you to double trigger. I was like, perfect guard or not, I would have overguarded that like hell. Why? Sure.
That's how people lose games, just being stingy with guard. And it's just that I know a game, I don't remember what point in the day, but I know that I went nothing to pass at some point just because I knew I had game next turn and he double triggered. I was like, he would have committed. No way wouldn't he?
Oh yeah, no. The moment I triangle lock people at that point onwards, it was always none to pass, none to pass. I don't care if they didn't trigger or if they just got one. It was always none to pass, none to pass. Because I'm not risking that whole I'm in control. Because you have to commit. So it's like crit and power, maybe power and draw. I was like, well, I'm dead now, aren't I? Well, that's fine. Instead of 15 none to pass, go away. 15 none to pass, go away, sort of thing.
Yeah. My game 3 was against Bermuda. It was generally quite a good game, but I just had he did the whole ride break, blah blah blah, and I was just like, well, I can guard it. I've got stupid cards, and I think I didn't even have a perfect card. I just went cool counterblast as well. But I just got the loop off, and the first time I did it, it was crit for game. I didn't get it. Then healed back to 4. I was like, for God's sake! I did it again, and it was crit for game. I was like, I can't keep doing this if he keeps healing. And then I got the crit, so I thank God for that. So yeah, it was 2 turns after the second ride break I did that won me the game. But yeah, so that was my game 3.
Game 3 I was against Aquaforce, and the moment he saw me, he was just like, nuts. And I was like, I don't know what you're worried about. I had a bad hand, so I was like, I really don't know what you're worried about, but sure. He has to ride, he goes for that whole grade 2 rush. Fair enough. First 9k on my 9. I'm lucky enough to get draw trigger and damage. So I'm like, just draw a card down, I don't mind that one. Vanguard, okay, no guard, doesn't get a trigger because he has a boost. So I was like, don't really want to drop 10, I'll go to 3. Goes to 3, rear guard. He's going to swing because of reasons. I was like, it's fair. I go break ride. Swing, just Vanguard on Vanguard. No guard, nothing, goes 3. Okay, rides Diamantes.
Let's say, how lucky.
9's not hitting anything. Okay, Vanguard attacks. 10 might do the pass or something. It's like, doesn't get it, rear guard, guard. No, rear guard kills my rear guard. So okay, Vanguard swing. No guard, nothing. No drive. I get no triggers. I'm like, fuck it. I do not know where I'm going with this. And he goes 4. So he just goes Maelstrom. I'm sitting there with 9k, break ride, draw trigger booster. He goes 9k to Vanguard. Sure. I'm just like, didn't really pay attention to what he dropped because I was just sort of a bit out of it because I was just tired. Still early. And then he just goes, rear guard, 9k, attacks Vanguard, restands. I'm like, oh, it's that one. Boosted on rear guard, 9k on 9k. Okay, that goes. I'm not guarding that. I never guarded a rear guard the entire day. And then he just goes, Vanguard on Vanguard. Right, so Maelstrom. I was considering Maelstrom. He's got 5 extra K, so it's like 21 on my 11. He'll retire my draw trigger. No guard. Nothing. Count +1. Time draw trigger, draw card. I'm like, good. My turn? Yeah. Perfect Glendios. Drop reverse unit. Triangle lock. Omega lock. Swing! And he's like, I'm like, what are you going to do now? And then he goes, next turn. Rewrites Maelstrom reverse, so he's on 13 base. Well, I'm hitting 18s across the board, doesn't bother me. Again, it's just, can't just keep Omega lock, swing, swing, Omega lock, swing, swing, Omega lock, swing, swing. Just beat him down at the end, you're just like, nothing I can do really. So, won that one, quite nicely.
And then I went against Aquaforce in my round 4, but I didn't have as much luck as you. He went, I keep 4, I shuffle 1 back. I was like, well, this is balls. He's plainly got something. As soon as he got to grade 3, he dropped his full field, Diamantis in the rear guard, the whole 11 to Vanguard, bollocks. And I didn't get a single trigger in damage, and I triggered once, and it was a draw trigger, and he was triggering. So I was like, I can't guard any of this, because I can guard big attacks, but I don't have enough plussing to guard the little niggles. So yeah, I just couldn't keep up. It was ridiculous. But yeah, and then I just ended up just being raped. So then I went to round 5.
My round 4 was against OTT, and so I was like, what version is it? Stands up, the Lulu thing. I was like, that could be any version. That's just your starter now. Turns out it was Monica Coco. So mainly Battle Sisters, but that was Coco in there. And he just, the whole game, I was just like, really annoyed at him, because he just went to 4. I was like, okay, fine. Attack, guard, attack. Lets it through, heal trigger, stays on 4. Like, okay, next turn. Attack, okay, attack, goes to 5. Here's drop check, heal trigger. Okay, so he's down to 4. Attack, no, attack, yeah. Attack, goes to 5, good, next turn. Attack, heal trigger. I'm like, for God's sake, stop it! And so I went through to the point where he reached his stack. He got Monocroft like 3 times. So that's what, 9 cards?
Yeah.
At the bottom?
Yeah.
And he reached his stack. Luckily, no heal triggers, because he died. But it was just, he kept healing, and just then, every time he's like low on hand, Monica, add things to hand. I'm like, it's 15 each thing to guard, but you always could let one through because you kept healing. And I just eventually just beat him down. I was like, that was a long fought victory. Just because it's OTT, and it's like, I draw cards, hurdy.
You really hate OTT, though.
What's the point in that?
Drawing cards.
That was the end of the pods as well. Like, so round 5, everything was all combined.
I got combined against a Kagro Novell deck. He didn't find Novell. He in fact rode Dauntless over the Overlord ride break. And I was like, right. And then he went, attack Vanguard. I was like, okay, perfect guard. And he was like, oh, I said set the rear guard. It's your issue, not mine, mate. It's basically my response to that one. But even then, it just ride break stuff, it didn't matter because I just had perfect guards and stuff. But I went straight for Rizal. Actually, because I just had it in my hand. I was like, well, you know, he's got nothing on field. So I just went right break Rizal and just kicked his rear guards down and gave him to me.
I went against Kagero, reverse, rebirth even, and I was great luck. So he won.
No reverses to get you out of it, Iori?
No, the reverse, I searched, didn't help me. It was in top 5, and then I only found 1 reverse. I couldn't find a grade 3. And the reverse I found wasn't the Link Joker one, so I had to ditch it to search, and I just couldn't find it. He rode 10k, so my 9k wasn't hitting. And that was it. I was just like, nothing I can do. Just, she beat me down. I was like, fair enough. But, double eliminations, got second life. I was okay with that.
Yeah, so me and you are on the same at this point. So I was like, well, look, we've got to, even if we get paired against each other, at least one of us can go on with my thinking. But game 6 I went against Minerva. But I don't fear a ride break deck because I just hoard the perfect guards and things. So I was just like, well, he did his setup, blah blah blah, did his ride break Minerva, like, I've got a push now. Like, swings, like, no card, went to whatever, 4-5, I don't know what it was. Just reached out and that, no, you're not doing anything to me. They're like, okay, I ride break then. Like 5x5, cool, and whatever. And you just couldn't guard it. I was like, well, yay. My ride break's better than yours. Mine doesn't really stand, but you can't guard that amount of power. So yeah, that was... oh yeah, also noted down that he apparently went... he actually went to 4. I know I did, because he went, ride break. Soul Charge 2, crit. I was like, no, you're gonna crit me. But they just drove check nothing. Yeah, other than that, that was game to me because he couldn't guard it. And he just didn't sack on his thing, but he didn't have any rear guards or hand advantage to deal with it because the cost is huge. It's cost of 3, so it's Dauntless.
My round 6 was a mirror match. And it was going generic fine. Then a judge came over and I was like, you've been won once before. Talking to my opponent about shuffling. So I'm going to have to give you, this is your second official warning, therefore game loss. And I was sitting there going, what the hell's going on? No, I didn't call judge over, he was just wandering around. And he was like, this is another time. And apparently he was just basically doing the weird take from the middle top or just slide cut. He was basically just going cut, not slide through. And he'd been called on it. And I was like, okay. So what's going on? So he was like, can I appeal it? Went to a big judge. Judge came over. Doesn't like. Yeah, but you aren't shuffling your deck. You aren't randomising it. And if your opponent just cuts it again, if you've got a stack, you've got a stack. So he goes, yeah, basically he's got a game loss, you get a win. That's it. And I was like, I felt bad for the guy because you could tell he just didn't understand why. Because he thought he was playing because of Glendios mirror match, slow game, doesn't want to go time. But Glendios isn't that slow and what he's going on about. But anyway. So he just got a game loss. I won, and I felt sorry for the guy because it wasn't a real game. But I wasn't gonna. I didn't see anything wrong. But if a judge does, I'm not gonna say anything because that judge was very sort of, you're doing it this way or you're out. Basically, I didn't want to get involved. So I felt sorry for the guy, but I'll take it.
Mm. And then round 7, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost at this point because I went against Novell again. I thought, it's fine. It got to the point where I had 3 cards in hand or something, was on 4 damage, and done a ride break of Novell. So I was like, I have a perfect card in my hand, so I have to discard a grade 3, and I have enough to guard the rear guard. If it has 1 trigger or something, I'll be fine. And I can just threaten him with a crit. I can make a crit for game, easy. But it's not crit for game because he doesn't have a perfect guard. He has nothing in his hand to guard it. It's impossible to guard it. I know he didn't, unless he had a hidden one in his hand I didn't see. So I went, right, I'm going to discard Holy Shine Dragon. And then he went, crit to rear guard, draw trigger rear guard, draw. I was like, I could have let the damage through, but it had to be a crit and it had to be a double trigger for me to lose enough of my either double intercept and draw 2 cards from my hand, because they're both 5s, and then only obviously draw and have a space at the back right, so I didn't have a full field for Azel, so I couldn't swing it in with a crit. So because he double triggered, he had the guard for the ride break, and enough for a trigger on the rear guard, which I didn't get anyway. So it's ridiculous. So because of that one moment and that one decision, I lost. I survived 1 more turn. If I had done the ride break or ride break, I would have probably won. So it's because I saw it out and went for I made a decision that was wrong at the end of the day. It wasn't. I'm alright because I wasn't grade locked or anything like that, which is nice. I wouldn't like to lose like that. But at the end of the day, I made a decision and it was wrong. So that was me out at this point. So from round 7 onwards, it was Iori.
7 was against another mirror match, Glendios. And I was like, ride break. He goes, okay. Ride Glendios. Lock a unit. I was like, okay. I was like, I wasn't sure. No, he just went Glendios. I was like, okay. Swing. He goes, swing, swing. It's just basically building up each other. Had a big hand. But his hand always seemed smaller than mine. I did get a fair few draws off. But I was like, how am I getting this much advantage? And I was like, he goes, drop, drop, lock a unit, drop. I was like, okay. So he had full field. My turn. Break right Glendios. Triangle lock in with a reverse unit. Omega lock. Swing. Okay. Swing. Okay. He goes to 5. Then he just goes, looks at his hand, looks at his field. I healed in the drive check because I went down to 3, and he just goes, I think he looked at his hand going, I've lost. He just couldn't keep up. He couldn't Omega lock because he didn't have reverse. He couldn't call to lock. He was done. So it was just like, Vanguard on Vanguard. I was like, no doubt, I'm on 3. If you double crit me, you double crit me. But if you were to get reverses back, you could then try to get a field back. So I had to risk the whole double trigger, like a double crit, to basically lose me the game. Nothing crit. He gives it to Vanguard. He has 2 cards, he gives Vanguard. I think he was just like, I've lost. Go out in style. And it was style. Because I was like, my turn, stand and draw. This card unlocks. Doesn't bother me that one. So I was like, I have to lock 2 units this turn. Okay. Replace reverse with reverse, lock. Replace my draw trigger booster, because it's always draw trigger booster, with my Startail Unicorn, Counterblast, Insult, Lock Rigger.
Oh, so you took one of them, did you?
Yeah. Call Colony Maker, Counterblast, replace Colony Maker with the reverse adder, counterblast reverse adder to add reverse to hand, counterblast Omega Lock. 5 cards Omega Lock. I had a perfect guard in hand. I was like, your go. And he just goes, Vanguard. I go, I've got a perfect guard. He goes, good game. And I was like, world's end, limit break, ultimate break. Only time I did it. I was like, yeah. But like, fair play to the guy. He was like going out in style. Like he knew he couldn't win. He knew I'd got the advantage so much. There was a double crit there. Was the only chance. And then round 8.
Was this top limit by this point?
No, not yet.
No, round 8 was top 64.
No way, you know,
It
like
was round
top
that
64.
There was like 9 rounds before.
Yeah,
the cut.
nine round. Like round 9 was, you could argue, top 16 because after because round 10 was top 8. Because I remember after round 9 I had the right deck list for top 8.
Okay, fine.
So
That
round
sucks. There's more people there than I thought.
round 8, I was against Kagero. I was like, nuts. And he was Rise Lawkeeper.
Oh god, this one. You told me
I
about
was
this.
like-
See what I mean? I don't understand how
That's
they get that far.
Alright, so cool reverse.
No, that's not the worst bit.
Yeah, cool reverse. Cool nothing. Cool the counterblast. Cool the unflipper for reverse. And I already done the whole aggro and first to hand. So I had no counterblast at this point. Vanguard swing, guard, rear guard swing, guard. Takes 1, goes for 4. He's triangle locked, because I did break right, so he's triangle locked. He goes, counterblast, bind your field. I had a full field, so he binds my field. Okay. End of the turn. They all come back.
Oh, for God's
Okay.
sake.
I call
He's an
reverse,
idiot.
lock a rear guard.
Yeah.
I call this unflip because I've got a reverse on the field. And I lost the draw tree booster. Didn't bother me. So it's like, okay. Next turn. Counterblast 1. Omega lock. Swing, swing, swing. 15 no guard. Pass. Next turn.
Did it again.
Cat did it again. Okay. So I had 4 cards in this hand on my field at this point. So they're all coming back. Okay. All calling back. Call reverse. There's nothing to lock. So just call reverse. Don't lock. Fair enough. Even if I can't lock, it's just call reverse. Okay. Call the thing. Reverse. Unflip.
It's near the end of his turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, doesn't your skill activate or when it's called lock something?
I think so. But
And
even
then at the start of your next turn, and then your turn, you can go out on the other side.
he didn't have like
He didn't have a gap.
He had a gap.
Oh, okay.
So even if I couldn't reverse, because even if that was a bad play on my a misplay on my part, if I can't when it's called reverse lock a unit, it was his booster. It wasn't changing anything. But the fact that it's cool, I have a reverse unit unflip. Next turn, counterblast on middle lock. He had no counterblast, he just died. And I was like, fair, GG.
Lawkeeper, for God's sake.
It's not even the fact it's Lawkeeper. I just feel bad about that misplay.
And it's not a misplay, he kept doing it.
That's what I mean, like those misplays.
It's like, negging you a card, it's just to get it to 3k. Did you have bar behind the Vanguard at least?
He couldn't, I triangle locked him.
Well, there was no point using the effect.
It's
Things like Minerva, I just don't understand how to get up there. But we'll get to that later.
Then it's round 8. Yeah, that was round 8. So round 9 was, guys, we sat down and someone was like, oh, we played that guy. And I looked in front of me and she said Tejikaze. I was like, oh. You guys already played him. I was like, no, don't you swap. You don't swap. And the judge picked up 3 sheets. Mine, the guy he'd already played, and the guy on the other side looked at them. So I was shoving them around and looked at them. Put Tejikaze back next to me. I was like, thank God. Didn't care about the rest. Generally was not concerned about the rest. That whatever happened there there.
Tejikaze.
So I go, right. I'm on like 3. Now I'm on 4. Haven't found any Glendios, so I'm on right break.
You always find the right break!
I checked top 5. Like pretty much every game was check top 5 twice. So I checked 10 to find it. One game annoyingly, checked it. No, that'll get that. That was my next game. That was top 4. Yeah, so he just goes ride break. The time before when he went ride break. Cool. Bind Dark Rex.
Well, no, okay. It would be right break, neg 2.
No. It was on turn 3 ride.
Obviously, you wrote it. Oh, okay.
He bound
Dark
Rex, give 3k. So it's 6 scales and 9k swing or guard.
Yeah.
Okay. I ride, swing, give him 4. Because I'm like 3. Well, I could guard.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to get some sort of thing back. I had to swing. He goes, right break. I'm done.
Right break, dark breaks. He had to set up.
So he got swing. He did that all, bounces everything back, calls everything out, blah blah blah. Vanguard, perfect guard.
It's not call everything out, it's just bounce everything back to hand.
No,
That's-
because-
it's retired to draw.
Oh, you wrote that?
No,
I didn't write it,
Yeah,
but
break
I see
guard.
what you mean.
Yeah, so he
my
just
God.
gets it. Vanguard. Perfect guard. Rear guard, Vanguard. Okay. Take a damage. My turn. Triangle lock. I was like, why didn't you, I didn't just tell him this, but I was curious why he didn't,
Dark breaks.
Dark Rex.
Yeah.
He didn't. He would have used my entire hand and probably won.
And
from that point
makes his
on.
entire field, meaning there's nothing to lock.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So I was like,
Oh
okay.
my god, Iori! Oh!
Triangle
That's
lock.
a
From
misplay.
there, it was just triangle
Triangle
lock.
lock, beat
Oh my
down.
God.
You had the perfect
beat down,
setup.
beat him
That would have
down.
been 10k to crit, swing you with a crit, you can either take the crit, if you
I was on
guard
4, I would have died. I had to guard everything. I think he just didn't I think he forgot about it being there. Because he instead of binding like below him, he bound like above the damage.
Yeah.
So I think he sort of was a bit too out of the way. I don't know, I just like, I got away with him there.
I thought we thought I'd leave it there for next turn.
Maybe.
It's a nice idea against Glendios, though. Like, go for the big combo, stop them locking.
And after winning that, the judge was like, right, write your deck list out. Which with Glendios is a pain. There. Then it was top 8. So face up against Kagero. Like, crap, another bloody Kagero.
Kagero's fine. No, it depends actually. Depends what he's doing.
And while we're shuffling, I was talking, and he's just like, he over shuffled was like, don't want to get grade locked. And I was like, look, I'll take a grade lock if you're grade locked. I think anyone here will. And he goes, yeah, but it still has to be a fun game. I'm like, look, you ask anyone here, they'll take a grade lock. And he was sort of like, I wouldn't because I'm superior than everyone. But he would have taken a grade lock. Ironically enough, he then got grade locked. So I was like, I'll take it. But he still got back because he must have opened with like 3 Novell in hand. Because he just went nothing. It was grade locked for like 2 turns. Top deck,
Conroy.
Conroe.
You had a Conroy in there,
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Get the grade 1.
I guess.
Ditch. Novell. Get break ride.
Darkness, yeah.
Ride, break, ride. At this point, I triangle locked him. No, I had not triangle. I had locked a column and his other booster, so he still has a Vanguard attack, and like something behind it. Breaks ride Novell, blows my field up. And, like you had 2, you ditched one. You had 3 in hand.
That's what I hate about Novell, the neg field bit. If that bit wasn't there, I wouldn't fear it.
From that point, he was just bringing it back slowly but surely, just bringing it back. And then my final turn, I went, okay, cool, reverse, lock your 5k intercept. Cool starter, count +1 into soul. And he goes, lock my booster? I'm like, no. Lock your 5k intercept. I have to win this turn. Swim. He looks at my hand, he looks at his hand, looks at his field. Does some calculations in head. No guard. No heal. I was like, thank Christ. He pulled it back because I couldn't use zeros. I had so many triggers in hand. I was like, I can't guard your Vanguard, really. Because
And damage doesn't do anything.
yeah. But I had to, at that point, he went, because after the break ride, he had another turn.
Oh, yeah,
and he dropped the booster, so it's 23 Vanguard.
That was another thing, by the way. In that Novell game I lost, I got a draw trigger in damage, so I could have guarded it and done the Izzo attack, but it was cancelled.
Yeah.
Which just made it even worse.
Did the whole... Yeah, he dropped his booster, so it's 23. And I was like, I can't guard this. It's 23. It'll be 1 to pass. Or I might as well say, no guard, crit for game. Because if he gets a crit, I'm dead anyway. So I was like, no guard. Doesn't get it. And I was like, 5 damage. I didn't care about Omega Lock. That was never a part of my mind. He always had an empty backspace. I wasn't even thinking it. Nope. But it was just, that was it. That was his point in the win. To bring back from being grade locked for like 2 turns. But luckily, he didn't. He's out. Top 4.
This is good. I want to try.
I
want to try and find the video online, see if anyone's recorded it.
I recorded the top 4 one, but it's on my phone, so it's like very shaky. I only got 7 minutes of it.
Yeah,
but
that's what I mean. I want to see if someone's got the whole thing and see if I can find it and link it somewhere.
But I saw how it went, Iori, so I'll add my bit.
It was a mirror match.
So already...
So I'm already thinking, right, I know what to do against Glandios, because you always know against Glandios, you don't drop. You don't have to. So I went...
We've discussed this at length, by the way, so we knew Iori wasn't going to drop.
I went like ride, he goes ride, I ride to 9k, swing, he lets it hit. Because he's debating like, do I guard it, do I not, do I guard it, do I not? I think I got a draw trigger anyway, so he couldn't have guarded it. But I was like, okay, counter blast, get reverse in his hand. He just goes, ride, drop another one. I think. No,
I think...
No,
did you go first or did he go first? Because I know that you guarded his 9k one.
Yeah, I guarded his 9.
So he didn't get such reverse.
He didn't get such. But he then, when he went great, because I ride break. Just sit, swing. Then he goes, I ride Glendios. Calls 9k.
And a booster.
Glendios,
which what I turned to Aaron and things went, the guy's lost, you
at
won.
At this point, me and Mike were sitting at the sidelines just going, he's just been in top lose.
He didn't need to drop anything.
Where he went, Glendios attacks, no guard. I got a 4, rear guard attacks, guard. I'm not letting him get a search off. From looking at his hand, from what the amount of times he was looking at his hand, he was struggling to find reverses. So I go, okay.
Draw the top deck, Glendios, and I was like, boom! He's won.
Doesn't matter.
It didn't
He
matter.
ride break.
Because he does that.
Luck his column. And he goes,
Oh no, it was next turn you did it, sorry. Next turn you top decked it, but you didn't have it to ride before that.
but I had another ride break, so I was like, ride break, okay. I think I dropped something. I can't remember because I know he did lock something.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think...
No, he did.
No.
I remember him locking something. Cause I
It's a
had,
Vanguard booster, I think.
no, that was
Really?
the final one I kept getting.
It was.
Was it?
It was.
It was.
He
Oh
did
yeah,
that,
because I didn't care because literally I'm going to ride break next turn. So I was like, okay, swing.
You thought about it, and then you went, swing with Vanguard.
Yeah, so he takes his damage, he goes to 4.
He goes to 4. Then he goes, call reverse unit, lock my thing,
Like a Vanguard booster.
Vanguard booster. I'm like, okay, call the unit. Vanguard swing. I guard 1, I think I go to 5. Or I guard it both. I can't remember. All I remember is the next turn, ride break Glendios,
Because you top decked it. I was like,
lock column, call reverse, lock rear guard. My thing is unlocked, so that can swing.
Yeah.
Permalock.
I make a lock.
Then
Vanguard swings.
you fill your field out, do your unflip, search his fields back to hand and stuff.
Then Vanguard swings. And he just goes, he looks his hand sharp a bit, blah blah blah, to the pass. I'm like, he's on 4. He's got a big hand. He must have something. First check, crit. I'm like, crit. Why is it a crit the first one?
He's sitting there for like 5 minutes and there's all of us on the sidelines going, commit, Yuri,
Commit. There's no reason you don't commit.
I'm just like looking around like, if I do it there, he's probably got the thing. If I do it there, he's probably... I'm looking at his hand, and I'm like, that's a big hand. And he said 2 here, not a perfect guard. Which is usually what I do to try and lure out the whole, oh, I'll commit, not get something, and then you can just let it damage through. So I was like, but if he's got a perfect guard, commit, second check, heal. I'm like, thank Christ.
Then the cheering begins,
No, when the damage went, it was like, ooh. It was like, because that game could have gone on forever. That's why I hate the Glendios mirror match. I hate Glendios in general. I hate Link Joker, for God's
He
sake.
couldn't have gone forever. He just...
He couldn't. He
But it would have prolonged the game. And
He was-
it's because you went right break whatever, and we're just sitting there. I was like, I've just got to stop the video because I know this is going to go on for a while, and you slowly deplete his hand. Because he just gets one attack, you'll be going attack until he has no hand left.
But I feel that he lost that from the moment that he dropped a column.
But he had to drop a column to get reverse unit.
I know he did.
That was the problem. Because of a bad hand, he had to drop to try and get something, and I guarded, and I was like, I'm not letting you get a search off. I know how crucial it is.
At which point, when you were qualified, I was like, well,
Then,
that's 2 in game now. 50% not bad.
final was
Mirror match again.
mirror match again, and I got to go first. And I was like, I'm so open hand, not grade 1. But I have reverse units. I'm like, right, it should be in top 5. Draw, not there. Okay, so it should be top 6. Search, not there. At that point onwards, I was like, I'll play the game best I can, but I'm
Yeah.
probably only going to win the double crit at some point.
I knew you were thinking that, because as soon as you went no pass, you're like, or you went to the pass and you didn't get anything. Like, for God's sake, I needed to win with the double grit.
That was it. He had me done. He just went grandiose.
Not much else to say. Iori was struggling for several turns.
And eventually I had to no guard hook for a heal so I could guard his rear guard. 21, 23 is just too much. And he just had it. And I was like, that's all I can do, yeah.
So go look for 2 turns.
Yeah, it's too much.
On such a low grade as well.
And he kept blocking my booster, which really annoyed me because I had to drop a draw trigger and he kept going, yuck, come on, stop it. Didn't Omega lock because unlocks. Next time, lock, I'm like, God's sake, let it be. Yeah, that was it. I came second, so I'm alright with that. And yeah.
And that was pretty much that day. Iori came second, beating both me and Mike from last year.
Yeah, well, different format.
Well, not so much different format. Iori has a proper deck.
Iori has a proper deck.
Iori has never had a proper deck or proper competitive deck. The most he's had is possibly Spike Bros, Rush, or Dayusha, crits and stuff.
Golds aren't even mine; they're yours. But I saw this deck and I wanted to go with it, and you weren't particularly bothered. So I went, I'll go with golds. You go with something else.
Just thinking about it, by the way, while you were talking about it, that would probably still beat Novell because if you took out a Zell and put Alfred. Oh, you just blew up my field. Alfred, top 5, yay.
For what, sorry?
The Zell.
Oh, for the Zell instead?
Yeah.
I don't understand why people prefer that.
Because Alfred gets you a field.
And, because also
I don't care about it. I didn't care. That wouldn't have won me the game, for example. I needed a crit, like a permanent crit with a big number.
I know this, but I'm just saying, as a general thing, it's like, oh, you just nuke my field, or I ride Alfred, cool 5.
Yeah.
Or, it's also full Liberator, like Vanguard, so you can go, cool, counterblast 30k guard against Novell, because it's a grade 1.
Yeah. No.
Again, 8 perfect cards works with Novell.
Yeah, so that was what I was saying during the game.
Yeah, but I didn't realise that. Oh yeah, it works really well with Novell as well.
Works against every single I ride break, which is the format, bar Link Joker.
I think you find it ride break format.
Well, no, because you don't double swing with me with a big number or something. I have 2 massive columns. You know, it's you lock my field. I can't do jank from there on in. But
yeah.
I was amazed though. But every Link Joker I went against, they didn't run the ride break.
I think you were the only one.
And I was curious if it's because they think it's too slow or what. Because
they need reverse units. They think I can only run 3 Glenios. That's it. The rest need to be reverse units.
No, you just.
That's just your style, but it works because it's just I'm stalling till limit break anyway.
The whole point is no one was running. World's End. No one. No, because no one had Mobius Breath, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
No one was running it. So therefore they were running the beatdown. Well, to get the proper beatdown, you basically need to lock their 2 front row. And if you can, ideally at some point, knock their Vanguard booster, because then it's easy guard. Well, that's why I thought the ride break, because it's, I'd already get 2 of the 3 done. I think it's called 1 unit, and then from that point onwards, just keep Omega locking. And it just confused me, but oh well. It was a good day.
It was a very good day. I spent most of my day wandering around the expo.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I to be fair, unlike when I was quitting in France, I actually felt very confident in my games. And that's what won me the majority of them, because I always had options to beat them, not just options to ride. It was just like, shall I win with ride break or shall I win with that?
Well, I felt confident in testing my deck the night before. I was like, yeah, this is going well, and then in the day, it's just like, nah.
Well, it's because they're very good early game, Pelman. Very, very good. Getting basically a full field.
Hello, late game +5, +4, big numbers.
Or both,
Lion.
but mid game then meh. That's what I mean. They have the explosive thing if you ride break it.
No,
or something.
I wouldn't say
it's.
But that's just it. I think that's what let me down, the ride break. I think I'll probably change that.
I think it wins because of the ride break, so it just depends how you build it. You know,
the ride break's what made me lose both games.
Because practicing against you the night before, it was the whole kind of ice swing for 17 or 16 against your 6 or 7.
Yeah,
for God's sake, and you pull it in, take it out, and you get like a full field of attack.
Yes, but I never had the ride break in that. But this is going on something completely different. We're talking about the day here and the tournament.
Well, then you started it.
No, I just said I think my deck let me down.
Okay, well, and then moving on to the
Sunday.
The Sunday, yeah.
It was just the same as France, I guess. For you
said
guys.
France, but Buddy Fight things took a hell of a lot longer. They finished like gone 6 or something. It took friggin' ages.
I played a bit of base, scrubbed 2 rounds again.
God's sake.
The worst way ever. took exact on level 3 up to 6 damage, and then had to refresh. So I was like, God damn it! Refresh, take damage, game. It's like,
Iori just took it because I wanted to buddy fight mats. I played all 3, buddy, vice, and Vanguard. Obviously in reverse order, what I care about. But I just because I have a deck, I decided to compete.
Something to do, fair enough.
I was competing there because I competed in Vice in France. I just wanted to see how competitive it was. And I actually won all three games that I played, but because we had to leave, I just said you can have the win, carry on.
And then it was a
that guy actually came third, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy, fair play, gave him the boost up. I'm glad it got somewhere, but it wasn't quite enough.
And it was a very, very long drive home. Very, very long. Don't want to do that anytime soon. So.
But we're right now. So yeah, it's just filling you in for the weekend, really. Again, feel free to let us know how you did and what you ran and what you expected to see. Hopefully we'll get some good content of you soon.
We should hopefully get these breakdowns done and up on the channel.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw in what I would probably change in mine because I know it didn't work.
Alright. Well, thank you guys for listening. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.